Hey, everyone. Welcome to 100 Days of Purpose. And I am Coach Linda, still in the city of Burlingame. I'm about to head out in just a little bit. It has been a wonderful time. The retreat was great. The aftermath was great. The virtual retreat was great. Um, and just the things that I had to do, the reason why I was still in this area, just really good. And it's good to be in the area that you are called to and be around the people that you have been assigned to feel what's going on in the atmosphere that they live in. And so I'm glad to be here. For those of you that don't know who I am Coach Linda, and this is 100 Days of Purpose. 100 Days of Purpose is simply that me coming on here talking about living a life of purpose and giving you strategy and techniques and just kind of making you think about where you are now. And so today, because I wanted to give strategy and techniques, and I just didn't want to talk at you, but I wanted to really give you value and give you something to, just not just sit and listen, but to do and get involved. And I get it. We're all very busy and we're all doing what we do in life. And sometimes we don't get around to doing things and there's not a whole lot of interaction. And I've come to the conclusion that most of the people that are on my personal timeline that they are here to get a kick, if you will, or a shot in the arm of inspiration and move on. And I get it, but hopefully you're getting something out of this, and somebody who can utilize my skill sets, and you will refer them to me, or you yourself will say, you know what, let me stop playing and let me go ahead and do this thing. And I know I've been listening to Linda for years. I've been doing 100 Days of Purpose. This is my third time doing it, and I don't know if it's going to be an annual thing because I just really kind of go by how I feel led. But sometimes we do things and then we have that, oh man, I should have, would have, could have. I should have went to Linda. I could have been out of this situation. I could have done something differently, you know, and we see other people progressing and we're like, man, had I started losing weight when she started, or had I gone on a diet when she went on a diet, then I might be in the same situation that she's in, where now she's lost all of this weight and I'm feeling, not jealous of her. I celebrate her, but I'm feeling like, man, why didn't I do it too? And I don't want people to feel that way. I want you to take hold of the possibility, take hold of the opportunity, and to move forward. And so that's why I do what I do. That's why I wave the flag and be like, hey, I'm over here, because I know that there are people that I'm assigned to, and they need to know that I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. So today we're going to talk about the will of life. And the wheel of life, there are 8 categories, and sometimes these categories can change depending on the coach that you're going to use this. Now, I'm not going to walk you through this exercise. I'm just going to give you an overview of it, and you can do the exercise on your own. But the wheel of life is family and friends, significant other, career, finances, health, home environment, fun and leisure, and the last one is personal growth, or some people call it self-development. And so what you do with the wheel of life is you rate each of these areas from a scale from 0 to 10. You rate where you think that you are, and you write it in this. It's a pie like wheel, right? And so you write what you think you are in each of these areas on a scale 1 to or 0 to 10. 0 being not there at all, not even on the radar of it, and 10 being like, yeah, I'm doing my thing. What you talking? Um, and once you do that, once you've rated them all, you're going to make an inner circle and you're going to say where you want to be. Okay, so let's say you have this circle And I didn't invent this. This was invented, I think, back in the 60s by a guy by the name of Paul J. Meyer. He was kind of a pioneer in coaching. So coaching hasn't just, it's been embraced a lot more in recent years, but coaching has been around for as long as people have been around. Okay. So you can't say that this is something new and everybody is doing it now, everybody calling themselves a coach, because those that really truly have the skill set, they've been doing it all their lives. They didn't just wake up one day and say, I think I'm a coach. No, I've been coaching since I was a little kid. People would come to me and ask me for my advice, or ask how I feel about something, or ask how to do something. And I somehow had this divine wisdom and knowledge to be able to give it to them and give them answers. And because I am who I am, if you guys have heard me talk about my archetype, or yeah, my archetype, which is the sage. I'm a sage above everything else. There's some other things that I can affiliate with and do affiliate with, but I am a researcher. I am a knowledge getter, right? I love to know things. I love to know how things work. I love to get in there and research and find the answers. And because of the knowledge that I gained from doing all of that, I have been able to increase my boundaries and my borders to be able to help more people in different areas, even in areas that I personally don't have any experience in, because I've researched and I've done the research and I've walked the paths and I've done all of that. That's what a sage does. That's where the term sage advice comes from. It's trusted advice. I am a trusted advisor. And so I get that. And when people come to me, they don't come to me because they think I'm just going to blow smoke up them. They know that I'm going to give them the information that they need, the wisdom and the knowledge that they need. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to come back and say, hey, you know what? I was doing some research and I found this out. So I told you this, but this is really what it is. And so this is what you really need to do. They trust that about me, that I'm always going to bring to them the information. And so I didn't just start being a coach when I opened up my coaching doors, if you will. I was already a coach. I had already been a coach. And so therefore, when you come to me, you're not coming to someone who just said, oh, one day I think I'm going to do this. No, you're coming to someone who realized that is my purpose. And who am I to withhold all of this knowledge from people that need it, that need to come to me because they were already coming to me? I can go into a grocery store and a complete stranger will tell me, just start talking to me about their life. It's who I am, right? I'm not just a coach by profession. I am a coach. I am a pastor. I am a prophet. I am a minister of the gospel. I am someone who can help you get your finances to correct it. Not only because I've done it for me, but I can do it because I can show you. I've sat down at the feet of masters and learned. And so I'm bringing all of that to you. So I said all of that to say, when you're choosing a coach, you need to choose somebody who has been chosen. Okay? Not someone who chose to do this because they can go to school and get a little piece of paper certificate, but someone who has been chosen to do this. Okay? So the will of life, getting back to that, the will of life, again, the areas are family and friends, significant other, career, finances, health, home environment, fun and leisure, and then personal growth. Again, these areas can change depending on who you go to as a coach, but those are the areas. And you're going to rate it from 0 to 10 on the outside of it. And then on the inside, and the outside is telling you where you are right now. Okay. So let's say in family and friends, you feel like you might be a 3. You can do better with your family. You can spend more time with your family. You can have better relationships and conversations with your family. And the same with your friends. You're just really busy and you don't have time to really invest in your friendships like you should. And you know that you're not the best of friends. You're not the best mom. You're not the best dad right now. You know, you're not the best sister or brother or whatever it is. So you might say, I'm at a 3. That's reality. Then the inner circle, once you've rated them all, the reality of it, the inner circle is going to be the ideal of it, which means you're going to then say, okay, for family and friends, I really am a 3, but where do I want to be? What do I see this area of my life looking like? And so you look at it, and on the scale 0 to 10, you rate it. And so I'm at a 3, but I really would like to see the ideal case scenario would be that I would be operating at a 9, right? And so you're going to write the 9 there. So the 3 is where you are, the 9 is where you want to be. So now you know that there are 6 degrees that keep you from where you are to where you want to be. And you go through that in every area. So where I am, the reality of the matter, where I would like to be. Okay. Then once you know how far you are from your ideal or how close you are to your ideal, then what you're going to do is you're going to set up a game plan. And what that game plan or action plan is going to do for you is you are going to, number one, choose one segment that you want to work on. Okay, so you got 8 different segments, but what one segment do you want to focus in on? You do that, and then you consider all the small successes you've had already. Because if you say that you are 3, that means you've had some success in being a good mom, and being a wonderful father, in being the best sister ever, in being the friend of friends, right? So you want to write down those successes. This isn't a time to get down on you and be like, oh man, I'm a 3 and I want to be a 9. I'm 6 degrees separated from where I want to be. I am just the worst person ever. No. What are your successes? So let's talk about that. What's working well? Once you get that, you're going to look and say, if there were a possibility, if it's possible, what would your ideal satisfaction score be? Okay. So you added up every area, the reality of it, and you figured out where you want to be, the ideal of it. Now you're going to add that up. So now you have these 2 scores. And let's say, one is 69 and your ideal score is 100. Okay. So now you see in all of these areas where you have growth, where you need to develop, where you need to get more focused and more involved. You have all of those things looking at you. And now you know what your ideal score is. This is going to be what we call your life's vision. Okay. And then you're going to compare what you have to what you want. Okay. You're going to compare what you have to what you want, and you're going to notice any things that stick out to you that make that go, I didn't even know that. You want to make note of those things that you become aware of while you're doing this process. And then take a moment to live in the moment of your ideal score. Okay. So you say your ideal score is 100. You want to take a moment to live in that. You want to feel what it feels like. You want to smell it. You want to taste it. You want to visualize it. Okay. You want to get all your senses into the success of your ideal score. Well, why is that important, Linda? It's important because if you are going to be striving for that, you need to know what it feels like. So when you get there and that feeling is there, you can be like, yeah, this was the feeling I had when I was sitting there dreaming about living this life. Oh yeah, it's better than it was, or it's just like I thought it would be. Okay, but you got to have some expectation, and you want to visualize your day, your week, your month, your year. 5 years down the road, 3 years down the road. What would happen if you stayed the same? What would happen if you lived your ideal life? Okay, and then you want to um, think about what is it that I can eliminate from my life or move from my life so that I can get closer to my ideal score. Because there are some things we just do because we think we need to do those things. We think they're important. But at the end of the day, if we don't do it, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the outcome of our lives. It doesn't change the outcome of our day. It doesn't change the outcome of our week, our month, our year. And so we want to look at those things, identify those things. And if they are just, you just put it in there to take up space, and remove it. So you can put something that's needed in that space. Okay. You want to decide what one thing you can do right now, today, that will move you from where you are to where you want to be, closer to where you want to be, because you can't do it overnight. Okay. And then decide on an achievable action, you one step closer to your target. So that's how you utilize the wheel of life. And some people say, well, that's a lot of information. And again, sometimes you need to take responsibility and do the things that you need to do, because there are 10 principles of life. And those 10 principles, I'm not going to go in because I'm trying to keep the video short, but there's 10 principles of life, and those principles are definite, right? They are things that happen regardless of whether you do the right thing or not. And so, we talk about universal laws and stuff like that. Those things are real, okay? And it's not woo voodoo. It's real stuff. Gravity is a real thing. The law of relativity is a real thing. Okay. So we have got to get into that and understand that and get into the physics of it so that we can know how to better ourselves and become the best versions that we are to be. Because again, going back to, the foundation that I built this company on is God has a plan for your life. And that plan is not to humble you or to make you look bad, but it's to uplift you and to give you a hope and an expected end. And so he wants you to succeed, but do you? Do you want to succeed? So some people will still need a coach, and you need a coach because you want a coach to take you to that next level. You want a coach who can see from the outside looking in, because you're very close to the situation. So a coach can sit back and see from the outside in and help you recognize and deal with areas of self-sabotage. Okay. The coach can help you gain greater clarity, break down daunting goals into manageable steps, because sometimes you'll be like, I want to da 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 da. A coach can help you break it down into baby steps. Okay. Ensure long-term goals remain in sight when your focus expands. Help you become better prepared, better uh, ready for whatever is going to come your way, support and motivate you, help you to develop positive habits. We are going, as a coach, we are supposed to ask the questions that you don't ask yourself or are trying to avoid. We challenge you in new ways and give you a better way of thinking, a more excellent way of thinking. We don't want to change you, but we want you to think bigger, higher, greater, right? And so we challenge you with new ways of thinking. We support your ongoing process. We are a sounding board for your new ideas, right? We don't discourage you from them, but we help navigate you, right? And we keep you accountable and committed to your goals. So here, if you're doing this on your own, you stop and start, you stop and start. When you have a coach is going to be like, what's going on with you? It's been 3 weeks. What's really happening? Okay. So now you have that person that's going to hold you accountable. This is what you said you want. Okay. And a coach will support your past obstacles. So basically what I'm saying is that a coach will see what your past obstacles have been, your past hurdles have been, and help you through those, help you over those, so you're not sabotaged by them again, or you don't fall prey to them again. And then the last is we celebrate your successes. You need to have that someone that's going to celebrate with you and not be like, yeah, yay for you, but yeah, I don't know why you getting all of that out. You know how our friends do. They start to get a little bit jealous. They get tired of hearing what you're trying to do. They get tired of trying to be there and support you in all of your many endeavors. And they one minute you're doing this, next minute you're doing that, and your friends are like, well, are you really capable of doing that? You have a coach that's on your side. They want to see your successes, and they're there to make sure that your successes happen. So that's why you need a coach, because you can't do that for yourself. If you could, you would have already done it. So for those of you, I am Coach Linda, and this is 100 Days of Purpose. I want you to be a strategic, intentional, on purpose individual. I want you to take a sip. I want you to sip until you are so full you can't sip no more, okay? Strategic, intentional, purpose. That's what SIP stands for. Take a sip, and I want you to know I'll be back tomorrow with another edition, episode, whatever you want to call it, vlog, whatever, of 100 Days of Purpose to keep you motivated, keep you going. And as I always say, I'm Coach Linda, and I'm out.
Life can bring us storms. Those moments where we wonder, doubt. The journey doesn't stop, but the progress does. It can be lonely, painful. Sometimes we try to stare it down, as if we could somehow will it to go away. Or we think we can go toe-to-toe and come out the other side, unscathed. We often forget just how small we are. The truth is, storms are inevitable. But when they appear, we have a protector, a savior who knows a thing or two about calming storms. A God who is a stronghold in times of trouble. In our weakness, He is strong. In our fear, He is courage. In our desperation, He is peace. Yes, storms are inevitable. But our God is invincible.